Joseph McPherson here in Bradford, Massachusetts, and what I was going to do is make a small video on how to get your shaver working again without going to buy a new one. If you're like myself and 12 million other people, I haven't really had a full-time job since August 2009. Here we are, early 2013, so sometimes we forget about what money does for us and how important it is. So basically this shaver, it's a cordless shaver, and the battery is crapped out completely, so it will not hold a charge anymore. Now, if you don't have the $40-45 to go get another one at Walmart, I'm going to just pull it apart here, and we're going to make it into a cordless shaver, a non-cordless shaver. So this one's kind of busted up, but what we're going to, first thing you need to do is the little button, you pull that off. This little button, you could just pull that off. That comes right off. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take a nice pair of pliers and you're going to get underneath it like so, and we're going to pull this little rubber right off of it. This rubber should slide right off the handle like so. So you got your little piece of rubber off the shaver. Now if you notice, there are these little like tabs. Those are like little plastic push tabs. Now if you push on them easy enough, the device will come apart. Now if you break it as you're pulling it apart, not to worry, because some super glue or maybe some electrical tape, you'll be able to get it back together again. What you're going to need is, I got a nice little Phillips end here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to push on these little tabs. So I'm just going to try to get one of those tabs to push in and open it up. And what you find inside of it, inside of the shaver, is basically a little circuit board like this. You know, this is the little plug that plugged in. This is the charging circuit. This is the battery that's no good. If I had one of these batteries, you could basically just cut this one out, solder it in. But this is the piece that you're going to cut off. You're going to cut that out of the unit, and basically you have a little motor with the two wires, like so. The end of the motor, you got your red and it looks like it's a blue wire, but technically polarity doesn't really matter. You can make sure that you get your hot and negative. So what I've done now is I've just basically, I got my wires stripped. I got the motor snapped back in to its little housing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rubber handle first. I got this rubber handle that I slid off. First thing I'm going to do is the plug that came with the charger, you're going to have to modify this just a little bit. Put like a cord on it. Doesn't have to be that big a gauge wire. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my wire and I'm going to slide it through. I'm going to slide my wire through the little rubber handle. That way there I can slide the rubber handle back on. Now I already marked my hot with a little knot in the wire. But you don't really have to do that. Positive and negative at 3.5 volts isn't really going to matter for that little motor. So I'm just going to attach my 2 wires to the little motor directly. Again, I've bypassed everything else. It's already out of the unit. I'm going to take a little piece of electrical tape. Going to tape them up so they don't touch. If you had a soldering iron, you could solder them up, make it a little bit more secure, but that's really not that important. And what you're going to do is you're going to tape up your 2 wires. So I'll do that real quick here. And I'll show you in a second what I'm doing here. So these are basically what I've got is I've got my 2 wires taped to the motor that's inside the little housing of the shaver. That's all I've done. Attached through the handle in the direction that I'm going to slide it back on after. And I've got my cord with the power pack that came with the charger, the original plug power pack that came with the charger. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. So, at this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to snake my wires through. I'm going to take the little housing. And again, if you break the housing, the body of the charger, of the shaver itself, it's no big deal. As you can see, I snapped mine back together. I got the wire out. Mine broke a little bit taking it apart, but we're still going to get this to work. At this point, you can plug it in and try it. See if it's going to run for you. Again, mine is looking just like this. Got the plug, got the wire. At this point, I'm going to take the little rubber handle, going to guide that through. Going to slide that back up over the handle, line it up. So now you've got the grip. And at this point, this quick little editorial. You've got a shaver that will work with just the plug. And we're going to plug it in right now and we're going to try it out. See what happens. Got a plug right here. Used to be cordless, but now it's not cordless. I'm going to tape this back together. I'm going to put my shave head back on it. The other part of the housing, be shaving in no time. The only inconvenience is that it's not cordless. Be up shaving again without spending $45. So I hope this helps you out. This is Joseph McPherson. I'm in Bradford, Massachusetts. And y'all watching YouTube.